Hello Sagittarius, I'm so happy to sit with you here today, and I will do a reading for the month of April 2019 for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. This will be a general reading, and if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't. I pre-shuffled your cards a little bit, Sagittarius. And now let's see what is the energy coming for you in the month of April 2019. I hope you are well. You must be a little bit fired up with this whole Aries season coming through your sister sign, fire energy. But yeah, there's a lot going on. Also, this Jupiter like going retrograde in your sign, right? And we're already feeling the shadow of that. I mean, like, it's a pre-shadow and there's after shadow of all these retrogrades. And yeah, you, Sag, are gonna feel it even deeper, I suppose, than other signs, since it's your ruling planet, yeah? And yeah, like, whenever the sun is in another, like, sister fire sign, all other fire signs feel it to an extent or another. So it's an interesting time for you, Sagittarius. What do we have here? We have the Eight of Cups and the Nine of Wands. Beautiful. Moving on already from this. Moving on from a place in your emotional realm that it's not working for you any longer. It does not bring you feeling of being in your own authority, I suppose. But yeah, let's see what else do we have for Sagittarius for the month of April 2019. My dear Saggies, my Saggies out there. Some cards feel like they want to pop up, then they don't eventually. Just giving me a vague glimpse. What else do we have for the sign of Sagittarius from the month of April? April 2019, Sagittarius. Okay, no. Sorry about that. Alright, a few more shuffles, and if nothing pops out, then I'm just gonna pick the cards. Alright, look, there you go. This actually came out also when I was pre-shuffling your cards, so seems there's a very strong message coming through with this card. Which is really, oh wow. This kept showing up as well, also for Scorpio and a few other signs for the month of April. So keep revisiting this whole mine, Sagittarius. What are you up to? Wow. Alright, so this has to do, this pops out, with relationships, as I was saying. Mine. And your spiritual growth. Like the way this is like fire energy, and by the way, this is very Sagittarius energy. It's very fast moving energy. So I think like this is your underlying theme. This is kind of like, what is it that's driving all this energy? What makes this story happen? It happens in order to, this is the way you work with this underlying theme, let's put it this way. And yeah, your theme is creating a foundation, a spiritual foundation of happiness and happy relationships. Like, see here you have this couple. They look like they're celebrating something. They're celebrating maybe, it could be marriage, or it could be like achievement of a status. And they see like a few other people in the back there next to the castle celebrating. And the citadel, the castles also symbolize like structure, civilization, support. Yeah, and this is the 1111 card of manifestation. I think it has to do a lot with like the structure you create in your relationships and the structure that you sort of like you operate into the world from your deepest identity, from your deepest like self-awareness and passion. You know, the one suit is the suit that deals more with the spiritual matters, deals more with self-identity after you've kind of been through all the other realms, like the physical, the emotional, and the mental, and yeah, now it's it goes all the way to the ones. And I think in this particular reading seems to focus a lot on your emotion and your own self-identity, and in relationships, yeah, emotions regarding your self-identity and relationships. And since you're moving on from something, you're moving on from a relationship or from the after effects of a relationship, romantic, I would say, based on the cards here. So I think you're like healing some wounds from a past relationship, or you're actually moving out of a current relationship with these Two of Cups here. And it's a voluntary retreat. It's a voluntary, like you're moving on because you feel this is, you have the moon here, you have this intuition that you gotta trust your feelings here, your own emotions. And your own emotions may have been telling you for a long time that this situation wasn't good for you. But you know, or sometimes our minds or a sense of duty or our idealistic self is trying to keep us in a situation that does our senses tells us it's not really working. And it's good to kind of like use our emotions as a compass, you know. Like whenever my emotions tells me that I don't like this, instead of like trying to always rationalize it and like find excuses for bad behaviors, either mine or others, my partner maybe, more like start listening into my emotions. It doesn't necessarily mean I need to react and start like acting angry or things like this, but it's more like understanding what is it that I really want and what is it that I really need from a relationship, and how to have like a healthy, balanced relationship, right? And my emotions will tell me that immediately. If what I find myself in is healthy and it's empowering, and if it's nurturing, or if it's something that just doesn't work for me. And yeah, you may have been like really hurt in the past. Look at this 10 of Wands here, and you've been through it. It felt maybe like a battle. You had to stand up for yourself. You've got some experience in that realm, And you learn a lot from that experience. This is like the wounded warrior, but he's been in battle. And there you go, it comes with the Three of Wands. Beautiful. Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, mine. Eights are really putting up a new structure here. Anyhow, yeah. So you're moving on from this relationship dynamics that doesn't work for you any longer, and you're starting like learning to trust your intuition, and that's in order for you to grow to this emotional stability and belief system stability. You want to have, like, maybe you and your former partner, and this could be a partner that you left behind just now or a month ago, or maybe it's a partner that, like, a partnership that still affects you, that happened like long in the past. Or as I said, can be a current partnership that you're contemplating to leave behind. And this is painful. This had been like left you a little bit fenced up and a little bit, yeah. Bottom of the deck. Look at that. Queen of Wands. This had left you like wounded. It's fucking painful, yeah. It is painful to leave something behind that you care about, because you obviously care about this person. But you do it because you understand that this is how you make room for more growth, and you really want a healthy relationship. You really want to move into this place of happiness and this place of stability. And you realize that sometimes conflicts, as attractive as they can be sometimes, and especially for fire signs, God, you thrive from conflict. But understanding that maybe it's really important that you and your partner have a very similar belief system. You want to come and go towards come from the same system of beliefs, and that doesn't necessarily mean the same culture, the same like status, or the same social. It's more about like, how do I see the world, and what do I expect to make in this world? What do I want, you know? And what is it that I value most? What is it that makes me tick deep down within my heart? And it's scary, because in order to get there, you need to get vulnerable. You can't stay fenced up like this. Yes, it is a natural reaction to this whole difficult move that you're making. And of course you need some time and contemplation and processing, but I think you've learned your lesson. This is a 9, it's close to a 10, right? This is like near mastery. And I think you're learning your lessons. And you just gotta like keep looking inside and decide what is it that you want to do. And I think that you kind of have a glimpse already, given your whole experience and your whole conscious decisions that you've been making to take care of yourself here and move on. And you're calling in your ships, you're calling in your resources. You've taken the decision to move on. And you start setting things in motion. Because you've done the retreat already, you're doing it, you're learning from it. And there you go, there's rapid growth and rapid movement happening right after. And you love that, Sag. You love that. This is your element. This is where you thrive. when you don't have too much time to think. And it's innate, this is structure. And it comes with the Eight of Pentacles, right? Where you're perfecting your craft there. You're working hard, you're moving fast, you're really growing there from this. You're growing, and you're growing very, very fast. And this is like spiritual maturing, and this is like starting to get out a little bit of this concept of the self that I had before, and start expanding it a little bit, and start like thinking of my own work also in the realm of service. How is it that I can bring like my growth and what I've learned into the world in order to serve, in order to serve this transformation process that we're all going through and that we're all feeling. And that takes you to this place of like happiness, joy. First of all, you're happy because you really love this fast-moving energy, and that you feel secure in your manifested reality. You start seeing the benefits of it, of this work, and the growth that comes from this work that you've just put in here. It's probably towards the end of the month. And with the Hermit, the Hermit is a card of investigation, and it's like going within, going deep within and investigating again. What's my concept of happiness? What's my concept of happiness being based on? And it leads you all the way back to where we started with the whole concept of like structure and belief system and love and marriage and what life's supposed to be. These two cards really support each other here in the and look at these guys like looking behind them, looking at this. Well, I don't know what they're looking at. There's a village there. I don't know what they're waving at, but they're like, they feel victorious. They feel like they've got this. And these guys do pretty much the same thing, with one more like standing behind this like structure and having the city behind. It's like they've earned also some sort of status, which I think has to do with your belief system, with your... But when I say belief system, it doesn't necessarily mean like your religion or your... Nothing institutionalized necessarily. It's more of a value system, I would say. And it comes with the Queen of Wands, yeah? The Queen of Wands is a character that's very, very passionate and very, very confident and powerful. And it's a feminine energy. She's driven by the drive of the heart. And she's strong. She's within her own power and authority. And this can be Leo energy, of course, but this can also very well be you, Sag. Feeling empowered in this relationship, in this dynamics. This is dynamics that you want, that makes you feel that you can play to your strengths, and that you're in your element and you feel empowered. And you do that through investigation, through going in and revisiting the concept of happiness, so you can actually create a new model that you can build up your new value system on. And then you know the signs, when you're going out there and starting a new relationship or have potentials, offers coming through, you start like, I'd like to clarify the Hermit with the Ten of Cups, please. When you create this new value system and the new way of looking at relationships, you're creating a new platform for yourself, and you start seeing the signs much easier. You start seeing the red flags wherever you feel like it takes you back to like feeling defensive and into this place where you kind of have outgrown that sort of dynamics and energy, and it didn't feel good for you. So now you start seeing it because you're focusing much better towards what is it that you want really. What are your deepest needs, and how to fulfill them without feeling that you're giving something up, or that you're putting yourself in a position where you're compromising yourself in any way. You don't need to be perfect in order to deserve this. You just need to be yourself. And you're a powerful being, Sag. Gosh, the mental clarity that Sagittarius can have, the big picture, the expansiveness of the mind, the philosopher, the power of influence. You're a very powerful person. Very, very powerful being. Just need to get to understand that really, and see what is it that you really want. Go in. And that's one thing that you do great, actually, not allowing the world to drive you and to tell you what to do. You've been always questioning, like, what is it that maybe sometimes a little bit of a rebel, but this adventurer, let's go, let's see what's up there, this playfulness energy, but at the same time very deep and going really far. So you're creating this, do the same sort of exploration but inside. And this is not a foreign space for you. You've been there before, and you've learned your lessons, and you're already like doing it with some enthusiasms. Okay, let's read. Let's clarify this Hermit with the Ten of Cups, please. I'd like to go a little bit more specific in this one. I think it also has to do with the concept of loneliness and aloneness. It's like, am I going to find happiness only in this like typical relationship type that everybody sort of dreams of because this is what Hollywood tells me, or whatever the romantic novels I've been reading as a kid? Or should I just go inside and discover my own version of happiness, which might have a very different flavor? May involve still other people in connection and relationship, but I may not feel as lonely into the world. And the more I'm like able to hold this place of being like alone and digging in and growing. And by the way, there's a star here in his lamp, so that's hope, right? It can bring a new knowledge of the self, that and self-acceptance and self-love, and it can bring like that inner joy. And then I can understand that I don't really need to depend on other people for my happiness. There you go, the world. Beautiful. Yeah, this comes with a serious change, with a real change, real understanding, graduation. You're going in and you're learning what's really happening inside, and what do you want from this relationship? What do you want from happiness? What do you see happiness as? You learn to get into your power and to put together a value system that makes a lot of sense for you, and you learn to speak that up, because you learn to find the people and to create the relationships or nurture the relationships that align with your value system. Four of Swords. Going in again. I think this is the advice for you this month. Allow this moving on to happen. Allow yourself to leave behind what does not work out for you any longer, and to revisit this whole concept of relationships, and allow for this new direction that you've set your mind towards, and allow this stability and this rapid movement to happen, to outgrow this wounded warrior position, and create new happiness for yourself, a new version of happiness that is aligned with your values and with your powerful self. Give yourself space in relationships, and give yourself space in life. You know, sometimes Sagittarius can be like such sociable creatures. they can like be so charming, and they attract a lot of people when they're in a good mood. And they can sometimes get lost into socializing a lot. They can get lost into relationships. And this is also like a way to like retreat from and just find rest time for yourself, to rest your mind, to rest your body. And it's a 4 again. It's structure. It's creating that mental structure in order to support this path. And you can do that by giving yourself enough space to reflect. Okay, Sag, I think actually this is a pretty comprehensive message. By the way, bottom of the deck again. The Emperor, another 4. And the 8s are like double structure. It's like structure of the lower realms, and also of the higher realms, of the lower energy and also of the higher energy, and working well together. So I think there's a lot of revisiting, and a lot of structure, and a lot of like new foundations being built on your emotional plane, your spiritual plane, and needs to be supported by the mind. And it is, it always is, if you have the willingness to do it, and if you realize, because sometimes if you move too fast so much, you know, it's all for the sake of movement, it's all for the sake of growth, it's all for the sake of flow, but sometimes we do need to break, and we can forget about it. That's why we have the Hermit here, and this is like a double reminder that you need to find that space for yourself. Well, Sag, I hope that you enjoyed the reading. If you did, please like, share and subscribe. And I wish you have a wonderful month ahead. Happy April, Sag.